London,
Masako,
and the Washington Redskins cheerleaders want to wish all of you a Happy New Year. Hail to the Redskins!
Welcome back to the Sideline Report. I'm Marvin Jackson along with Winston, Hylton, and Donna Hopkins. Our Winnie Okachi talked to some Burgundy and Gold fans on Christmas Eve about the current state of the team. As we head toward the season's end, let's hear what was trending.
We're here with Aaron and Jesse today. How do you guys feel the Redskins have performed so far during the season?
I think they've performed pretty good. I think there's a lot of things that they could improve, time management, just the little errors on the field.
I think they did pretty good this year considering all the injuries. When I was going to games 1 and 2, I thought they were going to be in the playoffs, but hopefully next year, right?
Well, we started out pretty well, and we hit a couple of injuries here late, and it's made it a little bit tough, but they're fighting hard, and I think everybody's giving a good effort, so it's only as much as you can do right now.
I think our defense is playing really well, but we've been plagued by injuries, and I think that's our biggest problem.
Well, clearly we're towards the end of the season, and if you look around the stadium, there's hardly anyone here. Friend and I were just talking about we've never seen it so empty before, so I think that tells a lot in itself.
This season, no disrespect to the Redskins, but they have no heart. That's what I saw.
We missed some points as far as coaching, I believe. The coaching staff needs to, I think, come on one page, be more together, especially with the head coach. As you have been a leader, you should lead by example. Most of the time, the coach seems to be nonchalant, so you got the players being nonchalant. We want everybody, if you want dogs out on the field, you got to be a dog as a coach, I see. You look at the teams that's kind of consistent throughout the year, like a Pittsburgh, like a New England. Their coach is a dog. The head coach is a dog.
We're here today with Ken, and we're trying to discuss the Redskins. But first, we're going to actually discuss about your previous experience with the Redskins. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it was years ago. Back in the glory days in the 80s, Joe Gibbs was calling plays, and Doug Williams was throwing bombs, Mark Rippon, Joe Theismann. We had great teams back then, and that tradition is something that we hope to get back to. It's been a little bit difficult, though.
So currently, how do you feel the Redskins have progressed so far in the season, coming down to the end of the season right now?
So let me first say, we were so close in a lot of games. If you think about the New Orleans Saints game and other games, there's some games that we didn't perform particularly well. Overall, I thought the Redskins were a better team this year, but we just got decimated with injuries. And I tell everybody, you just can't play your threes against guys number one. It's just really difficult.
All right, Kenny Jenkins, we all know him, right?
Yeah.
Good guy, and he had some really good comments. What do you guys think was the best thing that happened with the Redskins this year? Some of the best.
Wow.
That's hard to say, isn't it?
Chris Thompson?
Yeah.
Chris Thompson.
That's
really,
all I got.
You see, I didn't even say nothing because I was sitting over here trying to think.
Continuity.
Mm-hmm. What about, do you think the defensive secondary played better?
They had their moments.
They had their moments.
I think that they went backwards somewhat because down the stretch, in the beginning of the season, they looked like they had promise. But then as the middle of the season, towards the end, it's like, what is going on?
But they did have injuries.
They did, yes.
They lost some people.
Yeah, Monte Nicholson,
that
injury,
in particular.
And then Jonathan Allen and some of those.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They did have D Hall coming back, but the secondary was, they were kind of hamstrung with a couple of guys being out. But the play of Norman and Breland, they had their ups and their downs all season, and that's the life of a cornerback. But you would hope that there will be more ups. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think overall as a team, when you look at them and the way they started the season and the depth they had in certain positions, you thought that they were going to play much better. And I understand about the injuries and so forth like that, and you had second string and third, like Kenny Jenkins said. But to me, that's not an excuse because some of those players that stepped up and they played pretty good. It was some of the starters that did not play well. But when they lost Chris Thompson, that is when that offense production went down because they relied heavily on him running the ball and catching the ball out of the backfield. And from that point on, it's almost like the offense just, did not produce well.
How was the coaching in you all's I mean,
How
would you grade the coaching?
Coaching this year, I would say was probably better than last year. That defensive side of the
The
ball.
defensive side.
Oh yeah,
More aggressive.
More aggressive. It seemed as if the players responded well to what the coaches were preaching, and that's what you want to see in a team that's growing and building. And so in that aspect, you like, the growth in the defense. Offensively, like Donna said, that Chris Thompson injury kind of hamstrung them, from that New Orleans game. Ever since, offense has not been playing well. I mean, with football, there are going to be about 3 plays a game that if you hit on, you're going to win. And it just seemed as if the Redskins did not make those plays for most of the games this year. So
as the fan said, should the Redskin coaches have a little more dog?
I think on the defensive side you had that with Greg
had it a little bit on defense.
But I like to see a little more out of the offense because I don't think that they really went downfield enough. Their offense was a little vanilla, and to open it up where you see these teams as going into the playoffs, you've got to be able to go downfield with, to hit some of those targets to open it up. And I don't think that they did a good job of that. And that to me has to get better.
Yeah, 3 things that happened this year that probably really hamstrung that offense.
Yeah.
Terrell Pryor not panning out.
Yes.
Again, the Chris Thompson injury.
So that was one of the bad things that happened.
One of the bad things that happened. Chris Thompson injury, as well as the team releasing Mac Brown. Or I shouldn't say releasing, but he was on the practice squad and another team signed him off the practice squad.
Yes.
If the team had him, there's Chris Thompson's backup. And the team, he knew the plays. So Jay would not have been hamstrung as far as what he wanted to call offensively. So that definitely hurt the offense this season.
And he was really good.
Well,
it
was great to talk to so many loyal fans at FedEx Field last Sunday.